Hello, happy Thursday. Forgot what day it was. It's been that kind of a week. I think every day this week I was thinking it was a different day. So thankfully I've gotten everything done that I was supposed to get done. But it's been a week and I am glad that it is almost Friday. Just give me 1 second. I've got to cut one of these dies. So I just want to run this through quick. I hope everybody's doing good. And I'll show you what die I'm talking about. It's this one here. I forgot that I needed one in Mossy Meadow, which is right here. Hey, Karen. Yes, I am. And then let me do it one more time. All right, so we got one more. So I cut it out in the Mossy Meadow, and then I had to cut it out again in the basic white because I want the green frame here, and then I need the basic white for the center. How are you tonight, Karen? So I only did 2 cards because I have been in a funk the last couple days. We're dealing with another doctor, and it just gets so frustrating. So in the new catalog, they came out with another stamp set called Loveliest Tree. Hi, Casey. If you remember, they had years ago, and I don't even know what this is dated. It's so old. The case is so old, but it was lovely as a tree. And this was such a great stamp set. As you can see, I did not sell it because it's one of my favorites. And they came out with this one. And the tree is beautiful. It's not as nice, as lovely as a tree, but I do love trees. So I created 2 different cards that are just quick and easy. This one has lots of layers, and I use the Thoughtful Journey Designer Series paper, Old Olive, Mossy Meadow, Basic White, and stamped and colored the tree. All right, so let's get to, I did make a 3rd card, to be honest, and I didn't like it, so I scrapped it. I do have the papers for it, but I'm not gonna do it. I just don't like the way it turned out. All right, so let's put these aside for a second. And this one's an easy one. We're going to start off with our Old Olive 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. All right. And then I have a piece of Mossy Meadow, and I think this is the inside. This is the one I want. Yep, we have a piece of Mossy Meadow that is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and a basic white 5 1/4 by 4. Now you'll remember when I did the mystery card Monday, we blended, and I decided to do some blending again. Let me just lift my chair here. For some reason where the heck is it fell a little bit. Here we go. There, that's better. All right, so I use the Countryside Corner dies. These dies are in the catalog. The only thing that's not in the catalog is the stamp set that goes to this die set, okay? So the dies are available, the stamp set is not, which is fine. I didn't really care for this stamp set. I love the dies, I didn't care for the stamp set. So I just cut it out the center so I can blend some color. Sorry, got to get a drink. Onto our basic white layer. So I have a blending brush for my green, a blending brush for my blue, and I am going to grab some lemon lime twist, and we're going to do that one first. Always start with your lightest colors, right? And we're just going to add some lemon lime twist to the bottom. And I just want to go back and forth instead of swirling it around. I'm just going to go back and forth with it and just build up some color. And it doesn't have to be blended perfectly because it is grass, right? All right, so we got a little bit of lemon lime twist. And then I'm going to grab some old olive. And then we're going to add some old olive. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to smush some color onto the bottom here. All right, so we have some grass. And then I'm going to grab some balmy blue because it's a really good sky color. And we're going to ink up and we're going to do the same thing to the top. And I'm going back and forth. Just to add some nice color to the sky. A little darker towards the bottom and a little lighter as we go up. All right. And I think that's good. Now we can take our mask off. Get it off of here. And there we have the setting for our tree. Okay. Now I'm going to grab, my desk is a mess today. Like I said, it's just been a couple of days of just horrendous stuff. All right, what did I do with it? Did I put it back? No, I did not. Here's the happy birthday. Here's the leaves. Here's my memento. Here's my congratulations. Lordy bee. Isn't that crazy? It was like right here. I think I'm losing my mind, ladies. It is a tiny little stamp. I'll show you. It's like one of these little stamps. Nobody was in my room, so I know the cats didn't get it. There's happy birthday. There's congratulations. Unbelievable. All right, well, I'm going to have to, here it is, right here. Right there in front of my face. Okay, so this says thank you, and I did put the stickers on because where we're using a cling stamp, you can't see through it. And I need to get it on here as straight as, hey, do, straight as can be. That's okay. I was almost late too. All right, so there's our thank you. And it is nice font. And it's just tiny, right? So Now what I want to do is I want to put the tree on, and I don't want it very bold. I want it pretty subtle. So I'm using smoky slate. And the tree itself is very large. All right. So let's move this over. I am going to ink this up with smoky slate, so it's nice and inked. Pull in my base. Decide where you want your tree. And I am going to put it just about here. All right. And it's a little dark because it has to dry. And then I grab some blends, and I have light granny apple green because we use granny apple green in the grass, light old olive, the same. And then I grab some light crumb cake for the trunk and the branches. So we're just going to color in some of these branches, and they pretty well disappear into this tree, but you can see them. So I'm just going over a few of them just to get those branches in there, right? Just very quick and easy. Yes, isn't it pretty? Like, we were late, but do you remember this stamp set? Lovely as a Tree. This is an oldie but goodie. I wish it was dated, but it's not. All right, so the Granny Apple Green is lighter than the light old olive. So I'm going to take the light old olive, and I am just going to go in here where some of the ink is. You know, you can see where it is darker, where it's stamped, and lighter. And I am just going to adding in some little dots. I don't want to color the tree in completely. I just want it to show that there are green leaves in this tree, right? So just very subtle. And then I'm going to take the light Granny Apple Green, and I'm using the brush side. And now I am going to just dot in again some of the Granny Apple Green all over this tree. All right. So there is, yes, I think that was me too, Karen. So 24 years ago. Wow, that was like 2001. That is probably when I bought it. It's my favorite. I think it's my favorite stamp set of all time. I know when you look online, when you're searching for different stamp sets, people want an outrageous amount of money for that stamp set, which is crazy. Not really worth anything more than what you paid for it. All right, so we are going to now take this front layer, add some glue, and we're going to add it to the front of the card. I want to make sure that it opens the right way. And there you go. Just a quick, I love trees too, do. Trees and birds. All right. So for the inside, there's this adorable little leaf stamp. And I am just going to get my gray out again. And this is the smoky slate. And I'm just going to Stamp some leaves. What's nice though about this set, we're in summer right now. Happy summer. You can change, use your Stampin' Right markers and color the tree in fall colors. The dies have just a tree with branches, and you'll see that on the other card. So you can do these cards, and I'm just going to add some color, not much. You can do these trees for any season. It doesn't need to be just a green tree, right? All right, so I just wanted to add a little bit of color. We're going to bring our mat back in and add some tape. Layer this down. And I will have a blog post in the morning. I know tomorrow we have to run for blood work. They're running more tests. Oh, wrong card. We want this one. And then we're just going to add this to the center. And there you go. A quick and easy thank you card. You can change it into a summer card. I'm reading your message too. A birthday card. It could be the congratulations card. Whatever occasion you need. How quick and easy was that card, right? All right, now for the second one. Now this is the one. Here's the tree, and I'll show you in, let's see, is this it? Yes. All right, so with this one, it does have a die for the tree. Okay, you can see that. Let's get a piece of white so you can see. All right, so it's just the trunk and the branches, and I actually die cut this from the Country Woods 12 by 12 designer series paper. That is the paper with the wood, hence the name. The different colors of woods. All right, and then it has the foliage in a die, and I didn't take the insides out, so give me a second here. Now looking at it, I put it this way, but you could always change it up and add more layers. Okay, if you wanted to copy this tree, you could do 1, 2, and then up on top, right? And I use the Thoughtful Journey designer series paper. That's the 6 by 6, and created this happy birthday card. So let's start with some Old Olive 11 by 4 1/4. And of course we scored it at 5 1/2. That's our card base. And then I'm going to layer it up, of course. And we're going to start with some Mossy Meadow. 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. This is the Thoughtful Journey, 5 1/4 by 4. And as we're going along, let's put this together. So you could use either side. I'm using the side that looks like grasses and a sky. And we're just going to adhere this to the matte layer. And I'm not going to put it on the front of the card yet. So I want to make sure that my other pieces are the right size. All right. So that paper just by itself is beautiful. And then we have some Mossy Meadow layers. We have 2 pieces that are 5 1/8 by 1 1/8. And then we have another piece that is 4 by 1 3/4. And then we have our designer series paper. And what did I do with the paper? Probably put it in the wrong envelope. And I did. All right. And then I cut 2 pieces. These should be 5 by 1. 5 by 1. And you can decide what side you want. This is the side, the front. Okay, I cut it off. These are the pieces that I cut off. Or what I did is use the back side. Okay, so we're just going to add some glue to the designer series paper. Just like that. And do the same to the other side. Just gonna scoot that down. So is everybody enjoying the wonderfully hot weather? What DSP? This is the Thoughtful Journey DSP. I don't know if it's in, I don't think it's in the new catalog. I could be wrong. No, it is. It's on page 47. I've been just completely zoned out. It goes with this stamp set here. Okay. And it's this paper right down there. It is beautiful paper. Looks like watercoloring. Okay. So now we have our other piece. And this is a different layer of the DSP. And I'm going to use this side. I wanted the card to, I didn't want to take away from the back piece too much and use it completely. So I decided to change it up a little bit, and I want this to fit edge to edge. All right. So now we have our pieces. So we're going to pull our front in, and we are going to adhere this to the front of our card. And we have a little tiny bit of room. So you can decide which way you want to add this to the front. So we have a little bit of room at the bottom and a little bit of room at the top. All right, so we want to put that on there pretty even. And then we're going to do the same thing to the second piece. And I think I'm going to turn it this way. And we're going to lay it right next to it. And we want it to be even with each other. All right. Make sure they're on. And then the third piece, I'm actually going to pop up. So let's grab some dimensionals. We're going to pop this up right on the front of the card. It sounds like somebody's wanting to get in. All right, so we want this to go from edge to edge and decide where you want to put it. And I think I'll pull it right about here. All right. So that is the front of our card so far. So let's pull in our card base. Let's get this glued onto our card base. So it has a few minutes to dry. So we're going to layer this on. So this is a great card for all those designer series paper scraps. You can get these colors, switch up your colors a little bit. All right. Hey, Fran. Thanks, Stu. All right. Now we have some more layers. I have a Mossy Meadow square, 3 by 3. I have an old olive square, 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. And then I have a piece of basic white, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So we are going to adhere these two layers together. Let's get that out of the way for a second. And we're just going to layer this up. Get it on there as straight as I can. Okay. And then we have our white layer. Now this time I'm using the Smoky Slate again. And we're going to grab this tree and ink it up. All right. And all we're going to do is stamp it right in the center of this piece. All right, we'll give it a second and we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to add some color for the branches. Like I said, you can see them and they're hidden. So you just find where they are and add them in. Let's color this trunk. All right. Now this time I'm going to take the old olive. I think this is old olive. Yep. And we're going to add some dots. And we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to add some dots. Adding some color to this tree. I mean, if you wanted to fill it in with color, you can do that. I just didn't want to take away from the pretty little tree that it is. All right, now this is the granny apple, so we're going to just add some color. And I'm actually going to use the brush this time. And we're going to just smush some color onto this tree. Okay. If you wanted to add fall colors, you could add fall colors. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of glue, maybe, if it comes out. I usually don't like adding glue to basic white, but we're going to center this on this layer. All right. And then we're going to put it on the front of the card. Now remember, we popped this up. So we're going to grab a couple dimensionals and we're going to add the dimensionals to the top layer or the top of the tree. Okay. And we're going to add a bit of glue to the bottom. Because we're going to take this now and center it, or you could put it to the right or the left, but I'm going to pretty well center it. I want to be able to see some of these pieces that we laid on the background. All right, so that's centered. And just press it down so the dimensionals stick. Now I'm going to grab that tree. Here's the tree and the leaves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my glue to the branches just like that. And I'm going to take my tree foliage, and I'm just going to lay it on top. I see a little bit of glue there. I'm just going to blot it up. All right, we're going to let that dry for a few minutes. In the meantime, I am going to just cut off a very thin strip of the dimensional. And I want to do that so I can add it to the trunk of this tree. I just want to make sure it is on that trunk. All right. Let's peel the paper. Oops. There we go. All right. And I'm also going to just grab a small little dimensional and find a spot on here that it'll be pretty well hidden. Okay. And we're going to take this and we're going to add it right here to the card. Hey, Kathy. Thank you. All right. So now let's pull in our little piece of basic white and our happy birthday stamp. Is that what yes. And our happy birthday stamp. And our memento. Okay. And I actually did not put the paper on here. I may have to do this a second time. So wish me luck. So we're going to put happy birthday on here. Ah, not bad. All right. And we're going to take this now and add it to the front of the card right about here. Now, if you lay this down, you'll notice that these layers are a little bit higher, okay? So I'm just going to take a dimensional, and I'm going to add a dimensional right there in the corner, and then I'm going to add some glue. Let's just see. We're going to add some glue right there. Decide where we want our birthday. And I want to make sure it's on here straight. Okay. So we have our birthday. Then I cut the same die again. When you cut this little die, it cuts in two pieces, the inside piece and the outside piece. So I ran it through once in in Mossy Meadow, and I ran it once in Basic White. Okay. And we're just going to add some glue. Let's see, we want the glue here. Right around there. And we're going to fit it right around this basic white piece. Making sure it's glued. All right, just like that. Now this set also has, I probably put them in the wrong card. Oh, I didn't. Let's see what I did with, oh, there it is. Here's one. Must have fallen out of the envelope. All right, so we'll just use one. And I have one little leaf that I die cut from the set. And we're just going to put it right up here on the corner. And then I have some little butterflies. And I'm just going to take that butterfly and stick it to the end of that leaf. I'm going to grab a bit of twine. I'm going to double it. And before I do anything, I'm just going to try to straighten it out a little bit. It's been on that roll for a long time, so it's twirled just a little bit. All right, so let's tie a bow. Sorry if you can hear the fan behind me. It is quite warm in here, and I don't like the air condition. I know it sounds crazy. I was going to put an air conditioner in the window, but I just don't want the dampness in here with my paper because the temperature changes so much all the time that I just don't want that moisture in here. So I think Bill thought I was crazy. He was like, you should put that air conditioner in. Nope, don't want to ruin my paper. All right, so we're going to put a glue dot right here at the end of this tree and attach our bow. All right, so there is the front of our second card. And for the inside, again, quick and easy. We have a piece of the designer series paper. And then let me just grab a scrap off my table here. Great way to use these thin pieces, right? And all I'm going to do is take my glue and I'm just going to run a bead of glue right down the edge. And I'm going to grab that designer series paper. And I'm going to lay it down on the card. I like to push it down. All right, so there's that. And then we're going to add another. Let me start here. It's easier for me to go up than down. And then we're going to take that strip that usually ends up in the garbage and just lay it right alongside. You're going to butt it up against that designer series paper. Okay. Just like that. Good way to use those scraps. We're just going to grab our scissors and trim that off. And you can see it's a little over right there. Grab our old olive. And again, I will have my blog set up in the morning. And just as a reminder, for the month of June, you can take an extra 10% off your bundles. And this bundle is included. So you know that they are already marked 10% off when you buy a bundle. So you'll get an added 10% on all your bundles for the month of June. Plus, you can also take 10% off the cut and emboss machine, mini or regular size. So keep that in mind. And if you use the host code on the screen, as a thank you this month, I'm giving away the chamois. And I can show you mine. It's disgusting. I'm going to get a new one. I keep it in a stamp box. But you wet it, and mine needs to be wet, and you clean your stamps off. Yeah, when you close everything up, it does. It makes it feel really nice. All right, so here is our first card, a second card. Here is our first card. Lots of pretty colors. So I hope everybody likes these cards. Again, thanks for joining. Stay cool out there in this hot weather. And I hope everybody enjoys your weekend. I probably will not be live tomorrow. We have to go for some tests. Thanks, Stu. So thanks for joining me. Watch for the blog post tomorrow. You are all so welcome. I appreciate each and every one of you. Do, if you're going to call, give me like 10, 15 minutes, please. And I'll talk to everybody later. Have a great night. Bye-bye.